Guys, get ready for a really epic tag match. The partners are me and Romel, or Romel and I guess, if you want to be proper, versus two guys that came into our hosted match and said they were running complementary decks. Romelez and I are running Gem Knight complementary decks, and I start off with a Gem Knight Armadillo Lazuli combo. It's pretty classic if you're playing Gem Knights. When you go for fusion, use Lazuli, and you get back one of your normal monsters that's in the graveyard. And since Amber's a Gemini and Obsidian and Garnet are pretty useful too, you could put any of them down for the fusion. I also put down Book of Moon, double summon, and my opponent's first turn was really nothing major, so I just really didn't choose to narrate it because you guys will see what occurs. Because Romelez starts off with a clean, awesome hand. Mystical Space Typhoon, the guy's Call of the Haunted, which is a really big staple in the right occasion. And Romelez sets down a mean back row and summons Utopia. So he's not playing games. He's not playing games at all. Romelez is like going super serious on this duel because when we're running complementary versus complementary, it means the opponent's monsters in the graveyard are really and field are really going to be vital to each other. So for a quick update, Torrential Tribute, Gem Enhancement, Mirror Force, and what's it called? Mirror Force, Gem Enhancement, Torrential Tribute, and one more other card I forgot. Sorry. Book of Moon, that's what it was. Is face down. And this guy starts off with a clean regular turn, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna go for an Xyz, but he uses a Metal Reflect Slime, and I'm like, is he going for like a really weak Xyz level? Like, I didn't know what he was doing at first. So when I saw Goblin Zombie though, I'm like, he can't be playing a Destiny Engine if you used Metal Reflect Slime. So he goes for Lavalval Chain. I'm like, he's definitely running a Plague Spreader deck. And what do? I Book a Moon, and he gets a Foolish Burial, so it was pretty pointless either way. He still gets Plague Spreader in the graveyard, which is really dangerous because that means he could go for a synchro any turn. But you guys will see how this guy utilizes Plague Spreader. It's in a completely different manner than what I first expected. And alright, so I start off my turn with Amber and Garnet, and since I could not draw Gem Knight Fusion for the death of me, I could not get it. I only got Breakthrough Skill, but Breakthrough Skill, I say it like it's nothing, but it's really useful. So I went for the Xyz Gem Knight Pearl and attacked his monster, his Lavalval Chain, just in case he wanted to go for a Malicious in the graveyard. We cannot have Malicious because that's an instant Synchro level 8 for him, and that's really bad for us. So Utopia's defensive capabilities are really useful, as you guys will see. So right now he's going for Plague Spreader and goes for 2 Quill Bolts, and I'm like, he's going for a level 6. He's gonna get back Plague Spreader and then go for a level 8. But I'm like, nope, that's not happening. He plays this spell card and makes all his monsters level 10 because he had Metal Reflect Slime, and it was like he planned this way ahead, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this guy's a genius. So Breakthrough Skill negates this Super Dimension robot, and Mirror Force completely demolishes it because this robot's effect was to destroy all face down cards on your opponent's side of the field. So that would have completely destroyed us. We would have had no chance to defeat it. We still take a little bit of loss, I guess, since we don't have Mirror Force, and Breakthrough Skill can only be used once more. But anyways, he goes for this combo, which is what I was mentioning earlier. He used Plague Spreader and another 2 Quill Bolts, and I'm like, okay, he's going to go for his level 6 now. And no, he goes for Dark Mist. And I'm like, I've never seen, well, I have seen it, but like, it's really, it doesn't occur very often while using Plague Spreader for Xyz, especially Dark Mist. Like, that's a pretty good combo I didn't expect to see. And Dark Mist is very useful, except, obviously, when it doesn't have its effect. And Breakthrough Skill was still a very useful card. And Romelez, thank goodness, drew his Gem Knight Fusion when I couldn't. And I still, until the end of this duel, I could not draw Gem Knight Fusion myself. So as you guys will see, Gem Knight Fusion is a very useful card in general for Gem Knight decks, even if it was one-on-one. Like, Gem Knight Fusion is freaking incredibly important. Anyways, now he does the classic Malicious Plague Spreader combo and goes for Stardust, but he has an equip card to get his Plague Spreader from the removed Banish Zone. And I was like, no! I was like, this guy cannot get Plague Spreader again. He's going for a second Synchro, and I'm like, Romel, we're screwed. There's no way. because Utopia can only defend us. And he goes for Void Ogre, and I go for Romel goes for Torrential. And I'm like, okay, we got this. And I realize Void Ogre, and he emptied his hand for a reason. And this guy's playing turns ahead of us. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, he's planning this. Like, this guy was really, really good. Him and his partner were really good. Props to these guys, because that was insane. Like, he goes for a third synchro summon. 3 of the game's biggest threats in one turn. Plus, he negates our staple. Plus, he has power to destroy like half our monsters. No, pretty much all of our monsters, because we don't really have anything against it since we already used up Mirror Force. And as you guys can see, Crimson Blader, Stardust, and Void Ogre, we don't have a chance. But Utopia, number 39, in for the clutch. If we did not have Utopia, we would have pretty much lost right here, because we would have had no Gem Knight monsters to fusion. And my hand was still sort of full, I guess. I still had a pretty hopeful hand because I had Effect Veiler, and I gladly drew Doblet Fusion, which was amazing. I was like, yes. And I used Gem Enhancement because I wanted to lure away Void Ogre's effect. And yes, I did sacrifice Gem Knight Pearl, but I really needed those guys in the graveyard in order for my Lapis Lazuli and my Obsidian to work. So I guess I was sort of ahead on the game of this one, since I summoned my Zirconia as a decoy. But the true intentions I really had were to get Obsidian Lazuli in the graveyard so I could get back Amber and Garnet, so I could finally go for our ultimate monster. And it could not be stopped because they have no back row. It's impossible. So basically, I go for the Gem Knight, remove one of my Gem Knights from the graveyard, and sadly I have to, because Master Diamond's effect, it gets more attack depending on the number of Gem Knights in your grave, and it's at 3,400. And every time I remove a monster, it has to lose 100 attack points, so I really can't risk doing any more fusions. And I attack Crimson Blader, obviously, because there's no way I would let that thing stay on the field. It could destroy and completely shut down our decks. There's no way we could let that happen. And I also sacrificed my Utopia because it had done its purpose. It was a Brave Warrior. It was really useful. Like, I understand why Utopia is a staple nowadays. And you guys are really going to question me on this, on why I use Doblet Fusion, especially because Void Ogre, and I had to waste my Effect Veiler when I could have saved it in case Romelez or I drew a staple. But you guys are going to see that if I didn't use this Doblet Fusion, we were going to lose this duel. And this is completely valid. You guys will see. I summoned another Master Diamond while maintaining 3,200 attack points on each, even though I had to remove more guys from my graveyard. He goes for another Plague Spreader, summons another 2 Quillboat Hedgehogs. And Dark Mist is back again. We thought we got rid of that threat a long time ago. And this is why I put it earlier in this video, because Dark Mist completely destroys us. We have no chance to survive this. If I had only one Master Diamond, it would have been a clean 3,000 off our life points. We would have had no materials for Gem Knight Fusion. Romelez and I's hand are pretty much completely empty. We have nothing. And Garnet would have been destroyed at the mercy of these monsters if we didn't have Master Diamond. So Doblet Fusion pretty much saved us. And I'm not taking credit over Romelez, because Romelez Gem Knight Fusion draw really helped us a lot. Anyways, I take out Void Ogre because we need Void Ogre out of this field, because it has been way too much. It has been way too pesky on our field, and it's been causing too much trouble. And Dark Mist is sadly going to have to annihilate our other main staple card. And sadly, Garnet has to die as well, and I really have no way of getting it back. If there was a way I could summon a third Diamond, Master Diamond, we would have been able to clutch this, but there's no way. Our life points are still not low, but like the anxiety we were feeling, we were like, oh my god, how are we going to win? And this duel is still pretty long. So let me show you the field, I guess, right now. It's pretty much Zombie Master and Dark Mist. I was like, there's no way we're coming back. My hand's empty. And I draw the only card in this entire deck that could save us, Torrential. I put down Gem Knight Fusion as well. I should have put Torrential in another slot, not in the middle, because if they drew an MST, we would have been done, because Dark Mist could have killed anything. And I was like, they're going to be greedy, because that was their playing style. They played greedy. They wanted to get as many synchros or NXCs on the field at once. And I Torrential Tribute everything, because I knew that guy was going to go for another monster. I knew Dark Mist wouldn't be enough for this guy. I'm not insulting him, but like honestly, if I was in a situation, I would too. There was 2 face downs, but the worst that could happen is pretty much his monsters get destroyed, but he could have summoned another Void Ogre or something, or Stardust. So there was no threat. Anyways, Romelez now draws a Garnet again. So like Romelez has been coming through clutch, because these 1900 points of damage have been very, 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 very decisive in this duel, because any amount of damage we take could decide this duel. And you guys don't understand the pressure we're feeling right now. And when he summoned this Destiny Hero, I'm like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Because there was absolutely no way we would have survived if Garnet was off the field again. Because we cannot risk having an empty field, because we only have Gem Knight Fusion. I was praying, I was like, come on, draw. And I drew another Gem Knight. And I was like, Garnet, the same card. Romelez's Garnet and my Garnet. It was like some friendship off the anime stuff. It was crazy, and I was like, no way. It was really, really cool. And Citrine, I think that's how it's pronounced, but yeah, its special effect or ability, God, I'm sounding like a Pokemon freak. Okay, its effect is that during the battle phase, or specifically the damage step, it negates and the activation of all the trap spells and effects, or card effects in general, so there wouldn't be any chance of us getting Swift Scared Crowed or Battle Fated or whatever. So as you see, those 1900 points of damage that Romelez did earlier really helped us. And Gem Knight here, he goes for the overkill with 1600 in case they had a Swift Scarecrow and some reason Citrine couldn't negate it, or they had something in their hand. And we win with a direct attack. So thanks for everyone for watching, and I really, really hope you enjoyed this epic duel.
There are times when we feel like peace is left. The people in our lives commit the grandest deaths, stealing motivation like they all made a stipulation to ruin lives, victim one citation in the book of lies. Though some despise, we gotta realize that goodness exists outside the dark, rears blocking our vision. They manipulating decisions, contemplate their various missions.